Hello and welcome to Jessikaolivia Makes, a podcast with me, Jessika, about my creative space, about knitting, sewing, pottery and all the crafts that I like. My name is Jessika and you can find me on Instagram as Jessikaolivia Makes and on Ravelry as Jessikaolivia. Today I feel that spring is in the air and I have this lovely outfit that reminds me of spring, and I'm looking forward to show you a lot of stuff today and my plans for this season. So we're starting with what I'm wearing. I'm finally finished with my Cameo vest by Orlane Sucche, I guess her name is, and it's a waistcoat vest with bottoms and this lovely texture cable-y pattern, and I have knitted it in Knitting for Olive, having merino in the cream colorway, and I just love it. This is the first time today that I'm wearing it, and I think I'm gonna wear it like this with some puffy sleeves underneath. And I like that it's having a high neck. I like that, and especially with this dress that is already high neck. And I've used some seashell bottoms that I put on with some silk thread, and I think that is going great together with this merino wool. So I think it's very romantical and spring-like, and yeah, I like it so much. And of course I'm gonna show you pictures of the full outfit. Underneath the vest I'm wearing my Pansy dress by Rosary apparel that I showed you a little bit last time. It's a pretty basic dress pattern that I sewed in this gingham, cotton gingham, and I really like this color combination. It's a very thin and soft cotton fabric, and I love the gathering details at the waist and the gathering here in the sleeves, and it has some elastics in here so it's comfortable to wear it, and it have these puffy sleeves as well. So I think I'm gonna enjoy wearing this outfit this springtime, and I would love to have more pairs of this dress. I think I like the cotton for this, that is a little bit stiff and in different colors. Another project that I finished since last time is this hat. So this is Blomstra hat by Tornedalsfrun. Her name is Kajsa Vuorela, and I was knitting on this last time that I showed you, but now it's finished. So this hat is knitted with two strands together in stranded color work. So it's one strand of Rauma finull and one strand of Rauma alpaca silk in this beigey and red color. So you basically start with this edge, and then you folding the edge and then knit it together, make the brim, and then turn the knitting inside out and knit up the body of the hat, and then do some decreases here in the top. So I think it have a very nice shape with this rounded, curved decreasing area, and it sits perfectly on my head, but it's a little bit too warm to wear it right now, but it will be perfect for next autumn and winter, and I'm looking forward to wear it then. But I can really recommend this pattern to you. It's very, very lovely, and I actually have some yarn left, so I'm thinking about making a headband, like only this section, like a headband. I think I have enough yarn for that, and I think that will be super lovely as well, to use up all the little scraps. So this is a finished piece. Then I made some good progress on my Heirloom quilt cardigan by Katryn Seeburger, and I finished all the 36 squares for my size. And I have been stitching all the squares together. And now it's looking more like a vest, soon to be a cardigan. So the inside looks like this. So this is the inside, and I have been stitching it all together with a strand of Rauma finull, because I have knitted the squares in Nutiden yarn and unspun yarn, and I didn't have the patience to sew it together with the Nutiden, so I used some scraps yarn that I had at home to sew it together, and also sew the sides together. I'll leave a little tail here if I want to make the armhole smaller, but I think this is the circumstances of the sleeves. I'm gonna pick up stitches for the sleeves, but first I'm working on the ribbing. So I have knitted the ribbing for the bottom. So in the pattern it says like 2 inches, that would be like 5 centimeters, but I think this is more like 3.5 or 4 centimeters, I guess. And I have used a new technique to bind off this the hem, because I'm usually using Doble bind off for all my garments, including in unspun garments, in unspun yarns, but for this one there is a large amount of stitches, and I'm gonna do it for all around the neckband and everything, bottom bands, and I don't think I want to do that. That will take a lot of time, even that will be a neat result, but a little bit frustrated to do that in Nutiden. So I'm using this For Me new cotton. No, I'm using I'm using a new For Me method to bind off, and it's the Hiya grandma stretchy bind off, and you can find very good tutorials on YouTube for that. But it's quite stretchy and it bounces back again, and it looks quite neat. It almost looks like a tubular bind off, but it's not. It's something in between, and you knit it. You don't sew it like a tubular. You sew with a needle, and I'm very happy with that. So I'm gonna use that method for the ribbing around the neck and bottom bands. So I'm gonna pick that up and do that ribbing, and that's gonna make buttonholes, I think. If I regret it, I can make them afterwards, but I don't think I'm gonna make any buttonholes. And then pick up for the sleeves. So I I feel that I'm like 80% ready with this because now it's a smooth sailing left. But I'm very happy with the end result. I'm off gauge, but the sizing is very nice. It's a little bit oversized, but it's not too oversized for me. So I'm making the size 1 with 2 strands of Nutiden on 4mm needles, and I really like the outcome of that. So I have been pre-blocking the squares before I sew them together, and I think I'm gonna block them again to make it a little bit more even. It's a little bit bulky, but it's okay. I think it's okay. And because the Nutiden is quite heavy actually, but it's also pretty light to be such a big garment. And I'm keeping one of my knitting projects in this project bag that I made, and it is the genser with a split hem, and I probably haven't got so far since last time, but I'm working on the raglan in this, and I hope to soon be able to split for sleeves, because I think this sweater will be very nice, like in transition between the seasons. So I'm working on that. Haven't made so much progress, but I'm working on pretty tiny needles for me. It's 3.5, and in this recycled tweed from Sandnes, but I'm on it. It's gonna be a sweater one day. I have for a long time thought about making felted slippers, mittens, and yeah, felted things. So I found this yarn deep down in my stash. That is a drops yarn, Nepal, that is alpaca and wool. I thought that this is perfect for felting, and would be a perfect gift, because this gray blue is not at all my color, but I think that would be super nice for felting slippers. So I found this free pattern from Sandnes garn that is called like Doble slippers, Doble tøfler, and you can now find it in English, I guess, and there is several YouTube tutorials as well in English. If you search for double slippers, double felted slippers, Sandnes garn, yeah, this is a little experiment, but in the pattern it says that you should use fridges garn, that is a non-treated wool yarn from Sandnes garn, and it have the same weight and length as this drops Nepal. Is 75 meters per 50 grams, and I'm on, I think this is second ball, so I might, yeah, I think I will get one slipper out of 100 grams for European size 39, I guess. So this is the first slipper, and this is super fast on 5.5mm needles, and I'm almost ready with this one. So it looks quite funny if you haven't seen this construction before. This is a free pattern, so I can briefly tell you how to do it. The pattern is not that good actually, and it has could be some improvements in the writing and the construction, but I got a lot of tips and tricks on the YouTube videos and even on Ravelry, because there's so many people that have been knitting this pattern before, so that is a lot of nice tips and tricks for that. So I was starting with the Judy's Magical Kasten. It's not in a pattern. You just set a normal kasten and then you stitch together in afterwards. But I was using Judy's Magical Kasten, and then I was knitting in the round until here, and then I separated for the two. So this is gonna be the heel. The peak here is the heel, and here is 1 foot. Then you increase some stitches over the ankle, and then you make some decreases, and then you knit the foot, and then you do some decreases for the toe. So this guy will be the toe, and I'm soon ready with the other foot as well. And then you felt them in the washing machine and then put them together so they will be double. I can show you. So it will become something like this. So this is the foot, the opening for the foot, and there is over like the wrist. Yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty good actually. Now it looks like a big boat, but I think it's gonna shrink a lot lengthwise and not in the width. So I think this is gonna be perfect. And I have some leftovers from Rauma Vans that is in the same yardage. I think I want to try with Nutiden, maybe 3 strands of Nutiden together. You can take 2 strands of like a sport weight yarn. Yeah, I think you can use a lot of different yarns as long as it is not superwash. You can use whatever yarn for this, and I think it will be approximately 200 grams for 2 slippers in European 39-ish woman size. So I think that's gonna be a lovely gift, and I hope they will shrink good in the washing machine. Soon I'm gonna host a knit along together with my friend Fröken Viol Victoria on Instagram. We found out that Wool and Beyond have released a new sweater pattern. So it's a unicorn sweater for children. So it's the Always Forever unicorn sweater for children. It's a knitting pattern that is recommended drops air. So it's like 17 stitches on 10 centimeters. So it's like about 5mm needles. And it's gonna be a pretty quick project, big needles and thick yarn, and it's like in intarsia, but it's a clever construction, so you can work it in the round with short rows instead of making it flat that you usually do with intarsia. And you can use some scrappy yarns for the mane and use some glitter yarn, and yeah, very fun and nice project. I'm gonna make one for my sister's daughter, and me and Victoria have been ordering some yarn, so we thought that yeah, we go for the suggested yarn that's in the pattern. So we go for Drops Air, that is a blow yarn, but you can also use Viking Alpaca Breeze. You can also use Viking yarn Alpaca Breeze, or you can use Sandnes garn Kos, there's also blow yarn, or you can use it for Nutiden or another iron weight yarn with a halo and fluff. So if you want to join us for our call, more information is coming on Instagram. So we haven't put a date yet, but I think we're gonna start in April. We're gonna start in April and go on for at least a month, maybe 1.5. And if you want to join, we can have a group on Instagram. Use the hashtag that we're gonna give the information about on Instagram. And yeah, so we can share your projects. And I hope you want to join that, because that will be very fun. And for that unicorn sweater, I want to spin some yarn. I want to use a colorful yarn for the mane. And so I found this wool top in my stash. There is a merino and bamboo. It's a merino and bamboo fiber blends in these kind of unicorn colors that I'm gonna spin some yarn for. I also want to show you some books that I brought since last time, and it's in English. So this zero waste pattern by Birgitta Helmersson, that is a sewing book with zero waste patterns that you use the whole piece of fabric, everything, and no waste. And it's like have like the basic constructions, and then you can do whatever you want with those basic patterns. And I think it's a very lovely book, a lot of inspiration, and I think I'm gonna make a lot of garments from it. And this one is in Swedish, but you don't have to know Swedish to use it, because it's like it's full of charts. So it's inspired by those old books with charts for embroidery and things like that. So these have a lot of these charts. I can show it very fast like this. So they have this like a library with different charts that you can use for knitting. You can use it for sewing, like patchwork and embroidery, maybe like with beads as well. And yeah, you can do a lot of things when you have these squares. So that is a lovely book to use for inspiration. And the last book that I want to show you is this knitting book by Ranja Hakalehto. There is a Finnish knit designer, and this is her book Lakeside Stitches. And it has a lot of lovely garments. I want to knit them all, literally all of them. So I can just show you some without showing too much. Look at this pole neck cable slip over. And she have this. Oh, this is so beautiful. This cabled sweater. I definitely need to do this. And I also have this hats. This hat is also so lovely. Lovely. I want to make it all. So I can highly recommend this book as well. Last time I showed you that I was preparing some egg painting for Easter. So I have been producing a lot of those eggs since last time. Probably that's the craft that I've been doing the most. Now in March. Because that has been a tradition for me now. So the technique is called Sorbian Easter eggs, and you use like melted beeswax that you are painting on natural eggs, and then you can dye them with I use natural dyes like red cabbage and onion skins and so on to make these different shades and different patterns. And yeah, I'm showing on my Instagram, but I can show you here as well how they look this year. Last time I talked about that I went to a pottery course. So I've been to a pottery course and made some ceramic things with clay. And I can show you some things. And this is a little bit of a candle holder that I made. So it can hold like a little candle, and I love how the glaze it turned out with the white and the speckles. And I have this as well, with this little peak. And I'm so happy with this one, how it turned out. Super happy. So I was throwing this, and this I sculptured. So these different techniques. So I'm really try to teach myself to throw things on the throwing wheel, because I want to continue with that. And it's quite hard work, but it's so fun, and I want to continue to learn more about it. So I'm super in love with how this turned out. Also have this little flower plate that I made in this yellowy, mustardy yellow tone. Yeah, I can show you some pictures so you can see them all. And the last thing that I want to talk with you about is what's happening in the garden right now. So spring has slowly arrived to Gotland and Sweden, and the birds are singing, and it's much lighter outside nowadays. And it started to sprouting in the soil. The grass is coming up, and the tulips. And you can see the leaves. Not so much flowers yet, but yeah, it's coming. Last weekend, me and my mom did some work in the garden. We have like raised beds for planting vegetables. So we have arranged that place. We have rearranged that place that we have those raised beds. So we have moved 2 of those beds and made 2 more beds. So now we have 6 bigger beds and 2 smaller beds that we can plant vegetables, and we have already planted like spinach and parsley and things like that. And slowly coming together in the greenhouse as well. We're preparing for the tomatoes and things like that is going out there. But the tomato plants and the plants that we are growing the plants that we have been starting growing inside is tomatoes, paprika, chilies, aubergine, eggplant. So that's very lovely. And I have been starting to sow some seeds for summer flowers as well. That was everything for today. So I hope you want to get along with the call, the knitted along with us, and have a lovely springtime. See you soon. Bye bye.